Well, the good news is there's some examples across the nation of technology modifications that have worked in other countries and that are working now here. I think Vermont, Utah, I think Virginia has it on the docket. Hopefully my state of North Carolina will have it on the docket. This whole concept of balcony or plug and play solar. Mm-hmm. Why don't you talk a bit about your exploration into plug and play and how that technology might have a faster path to market than behind the meter feed-in tariff?
So it's a fascinating concept. Anybody with a microinverter and plug it in, you can plug the panel in. It's great. It's taken off in Germany.
Yeah.
There's they basically have
gigawatts, right?
It's a huge
absurd.
Number.
Yeah.
And they've made it legal in Germany, and they also have a electrical system that's based on 240 volts instead of 120.
Yeah.
So it works out. So I've been talking to all the early companies, working with CalSA, working with Bernadette on this, and there's legislation that's proposed in California, in addition to Utah, and I think there's like a dozen other countries that a dozen other cities are doing it.
I mean, Vermont just voted unanimously.
Right. So it makes total sense in theory.
Yeah.
There will be pushback from the utilities because basically the utilities in California and elsewhere, they're basically like, you can't send back 1 single watt hour of power.
Or you become a utility.
But we'll let you do that if you go through the interconnection process.
Right.
And that's turning out to be really, really difficult.
Right.
And for somebody just plugging something in and then spending $2,000 to get a building permit, it's just not going to work.
And so are you saying that's still a hurdle in places like Utah?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Utah solved it.
Okay. How did they solve it?
They just plugged it in they solved it with a very similar law to what we're proposing in California. There's but the real issue that we have to overcome is that there's some National Electric Code safety issues. There's UL issues.
That makes sense.
So Utah...
Well, hang on. But why would there be issues with UL here and Germany has figured it out? I mean, Germany is famously very high on safety and engineering.
That's a good question, but they're allowing it.
Okay.
I see. They have one reason is that they have 240 volts on their circuits.
Okay.
So if you plug in one panel, you're not going to create an overload as easily.
That makes sense.
But there's apparently not as much pushback from utilities. But here in the U.S., you're not allowed to do that unless once we solve the UL listing issues, which we're working on. Then this thing's going to fly. So the expectation is we'll get this passed.
Yeah. What's your prognosis then on timeline of like major states like California?
There's no reason why it can't get done this year.
Wow. This legislative cycle.
This legislative session is being pushed very hard. Affordability is huge. So it used to be that the legislators in California would push back and say, it's not that big a deal. Now it's at the top of everybody's list. Affordability.
I've been telling you, this is the answer. And people say, what business would you build if you weren't doing Suncast? It would be a balcony solar company here in the United States. I just think it's so fascinating.
I look at it, I'm in the rooftop solar business. I install 20 solar panels and 20 kilowatt hour batteries.
Yeah, it just feels too small.
It's great for apartments. It's great for little, tiny little houses. It's great for running an extension cord out.
Think about the aggregation possibility.
It's there.
Yeah.
I consider it a gateway drug to rooftop solar.
Sure.
And it would be terrific once we're able to overcome the utility objection to backfeeding 1,200 watts.
Yeah. Maybe
because of the affordability issue, we can get 10,000 watts.
But it's not a gateway drug to the kinds of clients that are buying balcony solar en masse in the Philippines, in Germany. Where's the other? There's a country. In Pakistan. Where it's literally like they're hanging it out on balconies of apartment buildings, Barry.
When this is in Costco for $500, then it's going to be everywhere.
So your point is how are you going to start a business where Costco is your competitor?
Where Costco is going to be your retailer.
Yeah, of course.
So you got to be a manufacturer
and Amazon.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be Amazon because you got to move the solar panel. But once the solar panel's in a box, Amazon could do it too. They could do
You got to move the solar panel. They're shipping kettlebells. What are you talking about? They're shipping jacuzzis.
All right. They can do it. It used to be really hard when you have a broken solar panel. Like, how do you fix it for a customer?
Fair.
It costs $500.
Fair.
That's a tremendous amount of potential, and it's kind of like living the camel's nose under the tent.
I think I love it. I think the better question that folks are asking. And to your point, you're doing 20, 50, 100 panel systems. Is how does it scale? How does it matter? There's such small systems. It's 2 panels, 3 panels. You may as well be selling. It's similar to selling systems in the Caribbean, right?
For a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment that can put 800 watts of solar panels out there.
What does it offset?
it could offset 20%.
20%. Yeah. Interesting. So we did an analysis about a year ago on the podcast with Karen Baran, and it was fascinating. If the state of California would invest into this, and then you might want to talk about Karen about this, it would be the equivalent of $1,000 stimulus check to the family that receives the product every year for the lifetime of the product. Isn't that fascinating?
It's a good deal. Yeah.
It's a fantastic deal.